The New York Giants and New York Jets will face off in their final preseason game of 2022 for both teams on Sunday. New York Post Giants beat writer Paul Schwartz. He's been with Big Blue all training camp, and I know that he can't wait for the preseason to be over. Paul joins me now. Paul, I know you can't wait for September 11th. It's right around the corner.
Seems to be, Dexter, a very long preseason. There's only 3 preseason games. I covered preseason when there were 5 preseason games. That was too many. 3, I think, is about right. Maybe 1 too many. But yeah, I mean, the Giants got to get through this. They're kind of banged up, like a lot of teams are. So they got to get through this last game, get healthy, and 2 weeks from now they'll be playing for real. So it gets serious pretty soon.
It gets real pretty soon. Now, Paul, before we get to that game against the Jets, running back Saquon Barkley, he was talking a bit spicy this week and made some headlines. He's basically had 2 lost seasons due to injury. So what have you seen from him thus far this summer? And can Giants fans expect to see the Saquon of old?
Well, one thing I've seen, Dexter, is he's been on the field every day. And the only times he's not on the field, it's because he gets a veteran, kind of day off. So, in years past, these past few summers, he's been rehabbing from knees and ankles, and he hasn't been out there, and he's been on pitch counts, and there's been none of that. Now, I'm not saying that they give him the ball all the time and he's getting overworked, but he is healthy. There's a big difference between coming into a preseason, coming into a summer, rehabbing, or just being in total shape for football. He's been in total shape for football. I would expect, if he's healthy, to have a very big year. I would expect fantasy owners, if you haven't done your draft yet, I think Saquon is a good pick. He's going to get thrown the ball a lot. Brian Daboll, check his resume. He likes to throw the ball. He throws the ball to guys out of the backfield. Saquon is great at that. So, he had 1,300 yards as a rookie. He was NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. 1,300 yards and 90 catches, which what he had his first year. I think those are definitely doable for him as long as he plays, 15, 16, 17 games.
Well, Giants fans are going to like to hear that. And there we got Paul Schwartz out here giving a little fantasy advice.
Yeah.
I like that, too. I like that there. Now, Paul, on to that final preseason game. So what player or players should Big Blue fans keep an eye on in terms of looking to lock up one of those final roster spots?
No, there's a bunch of them. I mean, fans always like to look at receivers, right? The main guys aren't going to play a whole lot. So I would say David Sills, who has been a star of the summer. He catches everything. A former West Virginia quarterback, has a great chemistry with Daniel Jones. Great. Those guys work out together. They're some of the best friends on the team. Daniel Jones and Sills, they're really, really close. So they have a chemistry. You have Sills. Alex Bachman had a big game last week, really big game against the Bengals. Richie James. Is Darius Slayton definitely on the team? I'm not sure about that. Right now, there are 4 receiver spots locked up. So that's one place I would really focus on. And don't forget, special teams plays a big role there. Richie James is a good special teams player. He's a return guy. A couple of other spots, they picked up a guy, Tanner Hudson, a tight end. He's been with the Bucs, won a Super Bowl with Tampa. He's been with the 49ers. He had a really, really big play down the field against the Jets in that joint practice. So I'm anxious to see him. This tight end position is really up for grabs. You have Daniel Bellinger, the rookie, and then you have a bunch of, who knows. So we'll see. I think Tanner Hudson has a chance to make the team, certainly.
Fans also want to know, what are they going to see in this final preseason game? Much of the starters will play on Sunday? And then also, just how important is this dress rehearsal, if we want to call it that, for the G-men?
I think it's more important to stay healthy, and they got really good work. I can't emphasize this enough. They got really good work in that joint practice. Daniel Jones was, I think, 14 for 15. He looked really good. The defense looked good. So I think that was enough. I think that was enough for Brian Daboll, the Giants head coach, to say, look, we don't have to play these starters in this game. Now, he has not revealed what he's going to do. I know the Jets and Robert Saleh has said the starters are going to play probably a quarter, maybe a little more than that. I don't think that's going to affect what Brian Daboll and the Giants do. I would not be surprised if the starters play a series or 2. I would really not be surprised if he sits all those guys. Saquon Barkley, I'll be shocked if he plays. Do you want to risk anybody getting hurt, anybody getting banged up? Because now, if you get banged up even a little bit, you got to play in 2 weeks. That's not enough time to heal from most, even little bumps and bruises. So I don't think the starters play a lot, and I would be surprised if they play at all, quite frankly.
It's all about surviving and making it to the opener. Paul Schwartz, he's trying to do that too. He's just trying to make it to the opener for the Giants. That'll be on September 11th. That is Paul Schwartz, New York Post Giants beat writer. Paul, great job as always. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Dexter.